All right, this is instruction on how to use SoundBase. This is going to be a really simplified version. Hopefully, it makes sense. So first of all, you need to create an account if you don't have one, and then sign in. I have an account, so when I sign in, it signs me in automatically, knows who I am. And I'm going to create a new project here. So as I create a new project, I'm going to call this, I'll call this Into the Woods in Damascus, Maryland. And this project is, we'll have it start on May 11th and go until May 19th. So May 11th is when it starts, and May 19th is the last show. So that's what we'll do, and create the project. As I create the project, what's happening is that the software is looking up all of the television signals and other signals in the area that might interfere with wireless microphone signals. And you can see them down here. These brown and red boxes indicate portions of the radio or the UHF spectrum that are that that would be impacted or that could potentially provide feedback. And so you can see that they correspond down here to uh, television channels that are familiar, or not even television channels, but these are channels set aside by the FCC that used to correspond to UHF television channels, but which are now used colloquially to refer to these portions of the spectrum. But you can also see the actual megahertz on this line down here. So what I want to do is I want to create a group. And in my case, I have three different kinds of Sennheiser wireless microphones. So I'm going to first create a group. Here's my default group. And what I'll do is I'll pick the manufacturer here is Sennheiser. There they are. And I'm using, in my case, I'm using the EW100 wireless microphones, the second generation. So here are the G2 mics. Now the G2 mics come in a few different bands. I happen to have band A microphones, so there they are. And what I'm going to do is, so it tells me, okay, here are the specifications on your kinds of microphones, and I'll then search for some candidate frequencies. Turns out that I have 6 of these microphones. So I'm just going to click them off right here. I'm going to just take the first 6 frequencies. Doesn't matter too much. I'm just going to take the first 6. And when I do that, I'm going to add these to the selected group over here. The selected group is default group. I'm going to add them to my selected group. And when I do them, there they are. Here are my 6 microphones on the left with their associated frequencies. And down below, you can see these gray bars that showed up. These are those 6 frequencies. It turns out that I can name these microphones. And so just for convenience, I'm going to call them microphone 1, microphone 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I could call them anything. I could call them by the performer name. I could call them by some other number or letter or whatever I want. These are just for my notes to remember which one of these frequencies goes with which one of my microphones. It turns out that I actually don't like this name, so I'm going to change the name of it. I'll call the name, so I'm going to just come to here, the group details. Instead of calling it default group, I'm going to call it my G2 band A microphones. And I could put in more information here if I wanted to, but that's enough for now. And then what I'll do is I'm going to come back over here, and it turns out that I have a second kind of Sennheiser EW100 G2 microphone. I also have B band microphones. So I'll switch to B band and search again. And here my search has turned up 4 frequencies. And that's great because it turns out that I actually have 4 of these microphones. So I'm going to select all those 4 and create a new group. And I'm going to call this one the G2 band B microphones. And I'll create that new group. And there they are. And I'll just label these 7, 8, 9, and 10. Those are my microphones there for my band B microphones. Could be different, again, could be different numbers, but just for convenience, this is what I'm calling them. Now, it also turns out that I have also some G3 mics by Sennheiser. So I'm going to click on those and search. And it turns out that the band that I have there are the G band. So there's my G band of G3 Sennheiser mics, and I'll search again. And this is great. I've got 6 frequencies that work. So I'll click on those 6 frequencies, create yet another group, and I'll call this group the G3 band G group. So now there are my 6 microphones for a total of 16 wireless mics. And again, I'll just label them 1 or 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. There are my 16 microphones. And you can see that, so here are the first 6 in this band here, in this gap between these 2 signals. And then I've got another 4 in this area here. These are actually, no, these are 6. So I've got 3 in this first band and the 3 in the other band, and I can actually browse this this tool down at the bottom allows me to scroll through and see more parts of the electromagnetic spectrum, and here they are, the UHF spectrum, the frequency spectrum. I can see here are my 4 mics in the 600 range. And it's important to note that in the 600 range, most of it is blocked off. This lower part is for cell phone downloads, and the purple over here is for cell phone uploads. It's interesting. And then beyond that, once you get up to the 700s and 800s, the spectrum is full and there's nothing there. So we only have a few gaps in which we can reliably put microphones. So there they all are. Now, problem is that I loaded these in one at a time. And as it was doing that, it was kind of thinking about how these frequencies, not only where they fit in the spectrum down here, but how they might interact with each other. But because I added them in piecemeal, one at a time, I have 3 different groups. What I want to do is consider them all together. And so in this zone, it's called the zone, I have 16 frequencies. There they are. What I want to do is come here and I want to recalculate. Oops, that's describing the zone. I want to recalculate these frequencies within the zone based on the constraints that I have about the equipment that I have and the spectrum and where I am and where the TV signals are and all of that. So all I do is recalculate all in the zone. And when I do that, it asks, why are you recalculating? And I'm going to recalculate because I want to say recalculate all. You don't have to give a note, it's optional, but just so I remember why I'm recalculating, this is how I can do it. And I'll recalculate. And you can see that the new frequencies are coming in. And it's telling me, well, you know what? One frequency cannot be coordinated. So this one down here, it's saying if you try to do this, you're going to have interference problems. So what you might want to do at this point, when you go to recalculate all in the zone, I could say instead of doing the standard profile, which is you can see they're all the standard profile, I want to allow for more frequencies to become available for me. I think I'll go for more frequencies in the G2 band because I've got 6 mics there. Why not? And I could do the same for this one here. Note that I could also search for more robust frequencies, ones that are even more likely to reject interference. But because I have 16 mics, I need to be a little more liberal. So I'll recalculate again. And you can see down here, it's moving the bands around. And now I've got 16 good frequencies, and I can count on these frequencies. So then the next thing I should do is go through and tune all of my microphone transmitters and microphone receivers to be for each one of these frequencies. There's plenty of room in between these bands. This is in the megahertz section, and really I only need really less than a megahertz to be able to have good, full, strong signal coming in. So this is how you do frequency coordination in a multi-channel environment, having many different kinds of equipment in a way that you can avoid the television signals and cell phone signals that are all around you that might be messing up your frequencies based on kind of the standard um, presets that might come with your microphones. This is how you do it in a mixed environment, and especially in the crowded environment that we have with TV signals and cell phones. So I hope that helps. Thanks for watching.